So first and foremost, I'd like to say welcome to our two guests, Afomia, Dina.
Thank you.
All right. So this is the first episode of TOL, which stands for Think Out Loud. And the main aim and purpose of it is basically to initiate conversation among friends, family, and outside guests. So from here, I would just like you guys to introduce yourselves. We'll start with you, Dina.
Hi, I'm Dina. I go to St. Mary's University studying criminology, and I'm 21 years old. And
Where are you from?
Ethiopia.
Okay.
I'm from Ethiopia, but I was born and raised here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. But both of my parents are from Ethiopia.
Okay.
I'm Afomia. I'm 23 years old. I just graduated from Dalhousie University in pharmacy, and I was born in Ethiopia but raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Okay, thank you. So something I want you to open up a bit is so you were valedictorian of your class, right?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So please tell us how was that experience?
It was really good. I wasn't expecting it just because I wasn't that involved in my university, at the College of Pharmacy at the beginning, but it was a really awesome experience, and it just helped bring everything together. So I was really glad to do it.
Yeah.
And wait, what are you doing after
Yeah.
this September?
So I'm going to be starting a residency at the Nova Scotia Health Authority, so I can be a clinical pharmacist at the hospital.
Woo! Black excellence.
So I have another question. So what was that journey like from so you weren't born here or you were born here?
I was born in Ethiopia, and then we immigrated to Kenya, but I was 2, and then I moved to Canada when I was 5.
Okay. So did you come here speaking English or you learned English?
Yes, so I learned English in Kenya because we went to a school that taught you, it was called an English school, so you learned English then. So I was very fluent in English, which is funny because they still put me in ESL when I came here, even though I read and wrote better than everyone in my class.
Okay,
but yes, so.
Okay. So what about you, Dina? How was it growing up here? Because you were born here, right?
Yeah.
Raised here.
Yeah.
How's that?
It was okay. I think it was good because it's a small city, and it was just kind of like my mom raising us, so it was good, easy for her to get around, and our schools were close to our house a lot of the times, and the Ethiopian community is pretty small, so we got along pretty well together.
Yeah, we grew up together. We used to in swimming classes.
Literally, we used to live before we moved here in this area, we used to live just down the street from each other, and then
Oh yeah, you showed me there.
yeah,
right?
and then we moved here, and then she moved over
we
too.
grew
So
up
we
together.
were close.
And everyone else,
we're
all the
cousins.
other- yeah.
Oh,
We're cousins, but everyone else in the community, we grew up together because it was so small.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the introduction. So here I have
about you?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought I was your host, so I.
Long story.
All right. So me. Okay. So my name is Abdullahi Berry. I'm from Guinea, and I go to St. Mary's as well. That's where I met Dina. I'm 23. Yeah, that's basically it. Just how
When did you come here?
So I came.
Tell us what you were doing even before you're.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Unless
He's trying to be a little humble. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, before I got to Canada, I was in Portugal. All right. So basically, my sister, brothers. So we are five in total. I'm the second oldest, and then the oldest brother. He's currently working at TD. And then my sister also goes to Dow. She's doing law, and I'm studying political science. And then my other brother, right now, he's stationed at Moncton. He's working at TD as well. He's working at the bank. And then we have my youngest brother and my mom who live in Kenya. So yeah, we're a pretty big family, and that's common with the
You guys
African.
are all over the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's common with the African community as well. So. But yeah, before I got here, like I said, I was in Portugal. I was just basically playing soccer. I'm 23, so by now I should be basically almost done with school. But basically, as soon as I graduated, high school.
I mean, there's no right way.
Exactly.
To do it,
Yeah. So basically, for me, as soon as I finished school, I was just all right, I'm not gonna go straight into university.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just
smart.
gonna travel, play soccer, follow the passion, right? And then eventually, I decided to come here because like all the family was basically like moving to
Yeah,
Canada, all right?
right.
And out of all places, what?
Out of all
Halifax.
places, Halifax.
Halifax, man. But no, so far it's good. Like as you can see, I've met great people, right? And what? How long have I known you guys? It's been what, 8 months, I would say.
Yeah, since like October, November.
Yeah,
And
8
I've
months.
known you a little after Dina. I met you a little after.
Exactly.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Well, you guys asked me, so what's your plan for after? Because you're not in really like, you're in broad programs, because Dina's in Crim,
Yeah.
right? You're in Crim?
Nope, political science.
Political,
Yeah.
and he's just said it.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
what's your plan after?
So I'm planning to see. So I have goals in terms of like sport wise.
You still have how many years left?
So I've still got like 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I decide to do 3, then yeah, I'll do a 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now I personally don't know, like because you can't really predict the future. But in terms of like how I would like it to turn out, you know, like eventually get drafted in the CPL here, and yeah, once I retire, start working in the UN like my dad. Probably
That's
probably looking into law as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now I'm just going with the tide of things. Yeah, just enjoying life. Yeah. What about you? So yeah, well, you
Well, I
already
get-
in
yeah.
motion.
Well, I hope to travel as much as I can before settling down. Like, I'm thinking, obviously, I'm in Crim and with a minor in French, but I want to eventually probably work like as an immigration officer or something to do in that type of field. I wouldn't say like policing, like, oh, they're policing, but like, you know, somewhere is like, I would say probably immigration officer, but before that, I kind of want to do something like something that's not in my comfort zone, and something like kind of like moving away, maybe like teaching English like abroad somewhere in Southeast Asia, and just being able to travel a little bit before I come back here and settle down.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I feel like once you're done, don't rush into things. Like just travel. Like some people, they don't know what to do even after graduation, right? So at least you went.
I mean, you don't
yeah,
have to.
exactly.
Yeah.
You need to take that time off, travel. You know, figure things out, experience things.
Yeah.
and
Maybe
come-
get better opportunities
Exactly.
out there. You never
yeah.
know.
Exactly.
And I graduate soon, like this year, it's
Yeah.
2021. So
Woo.
Went around the corner. Yeah.
No, I agree, because I knew I wanted to be a pharmacist since grade 8, and I followed that passion, but like sometimes I wish I did more, and every job I did had a purpose. So sometimes I wish, not that these jobs don't have purposes, but I wish I like was a waitress, or I took some time off because I've just been straight through school. So if you ever have those like Barry, like take some time off and travel, just figure, like there's no rush.
Yeah.
There's no rush. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've got introduction out of the way, all right, so I've got a little icebreaker here, right? So in here we have a ruffle, and since we're 3,
with no prize.
and since we're 3, right? So here we have like statements, quotes. Well, they don't know, but I know because I'm the host. So I wrote everything up, all right? So we're going to take turns. We're going to start with Dina. She's just going to pick whichever ruffle she wants, and then she's going to initiate a conversation through that. Or if she doesn't know how to start the conversation, me and Afomi could like pick it up. And if it's my turn as well, and I don't know what to basically say, I will just open up the floor, all right?
Okay.
So you can start. Oh God.
Okay. Okay.
Read it.
Okay, I know. What is your take on the following quote?
Okay.
Do what you can where you are with what you have. I know
Okay.
that's Barry's favorite quote.
That's my favorite quote, bro.
That's,
You can show it to the camera.
that's
so they
his
don't think
favorite
it is-
quote.
Yeah.
Barry, you have very neat handwriting.
Yeah.
Is that you?
That's me, of course. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
that does look really nice.
Thank you.
I've never seen you write like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll show you my
Yeah, I'm
books.
calling that to you.
I'll show you my books after this. Yeah. What do you think about that?
So, do what you can where you are with what you have.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly something that everybody should live by. Like, because everybody obviously is trying to figure out what they can do, like, kind of next in their life. And, like, some people might be stuck, but I think they just have to figure out where they are, like, what they can do to get themselves to where they want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like for me, example, like, I mean, maybe it might have something to do. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, like when I was like in university, like obviously like I like to travel a lot, and I've always wanted to travel, but like, you know, obviously being in school and trying to work and like pay for school and like there's a lot of expenses with that. So like I was like, I can't travel as much as I want to with school, because like obviously traveling is so expensive. So I was like, what can I do to kind of make traveling like cheaper for me in some sort of form? So I was like, maybe I can apply for the airport. Like I don't even have my own car. Like I just kind of like was just like, whatever. Like I worked at McDonald's for 5 years, like, and then
who got you that job?
Yeah.
You worked there too?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I got Gina and Jasmine working together at one point
And
when
then
I first started.
And then I was
And then you
out
got
of
out.
there. Yeah,
You set
next
them up.
door at Shoppers.
the manager of Shoppers came to McDonald's to pick up a meal, and he's like, "Oh, it's crazy in here." I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a job," and that's how I moved next door.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so I was working there for like 5 years, and then we started working at Rec together, like summer camp.
So much fun.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I was just like, let me try and find like a way to
Make my passion work.
yeah, you know, make my passion work like as much as I can with school, because obviously I didn't want to just like forget school. And then I ended up getting a job. I started like cleaning planes, which obviously was not like the best job, and like the people I worked with were like not very good, and like, it was just like the job wasn't bad, it was just the people were like not like very good, and like I was like, honestly, whatever, I'll do this, like if it gets me cheap flights, like whatever, it's worth it. So like I did that for a bit, and then after that, during a certain period with that, like they like lay you off during the slow months. So then during that months I was like, let me try applying like as a customer service agent. So I was like, okay, it's like the same company, so I applied with them, and then I got the job, and so that was like so much better. Like I actually like really like enjoy that job. Like it just like I go like, even though the hours sucked, but like I still liked going to work.
You loved dressing up,
and that's what I want to like. I want, when I get older, I want to love what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like really happy with that, and like the benefits were much better than cleaning the planes. So. And then I eventually got like a compliance coordinator like position for the summer with American Airlines, and like, you know what, I feel like I was trying to do literally what I can where I am with what I had. So like eventually, you know what I mean, if you really like have a passion and you want to follow it, you will do what you can to get there.
That's good.
So
You want to pick up from there?
I actually took it a different way. I took it the way Dina did, but I think like I have a huge problem with like planning for my future, but not really living in the moment. Like if you know me, I'm a planner. I am spontaneous in some sense, but like in my work life or in even my love life, I'm not really like not gonna get up and do it. I have to think everything through. There has to be a plan. So I think I took this as also like just kind of live in the moment, and just like Dina said, like make what you have work. I'm more of a let me work so I can get to step 2 for my future. I don't appreciate the nows. And I think I realized that when I graduated, and I was like, oh shoot, like I'm in my career now. Like I'm not
all the planning you've done is like done.
And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know how to live my life in the here. You know what I mean? Like, what can I plan that's past this? So a lot of just like appreciating where you are in life and appreciating who's there. And like, I think COVID put that in perspective for me. There's friendships I need to put more effort into and like make them work, but just like appreciate where you are and just make that work before you like, because when you're like focused on the future, life passes you by. I'm telling you, these 5 years didn't feel like 5 years. So
I literally remember you telling me when you got your pharmacy interview, it was either your interview or like when you knew you got in, we were just walking like back from McDonald's like on Harlan, and I was like that in my head, like I'll never forget that. Like I felt like it was like yesterday.
And that's what I mean. And then when I got in, I was like, oh, I want to do a residency. My focus became on that. I never truly sat in and be like, wow, I really did this. It was like, okay, what's next? And I think that, like, you know, do what you can right now, like where you are right now in the present moment, and live in that present moment and appreciate those things. Like Dina said, like when she got her job and she loved it, like appreciating that and like sitting in that and soaking it in before you're like, okay, what's next? Because I'm a very what's next person. So
well, that's good. So me personally, what I get out of this quote and what I basically understood from what you guys said is basically a term that I and a lot of people called gratitude, right? Being grateful for what you have.
Gratitude is a must.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Coffee
yeah.
said it
Oh
best.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like that one. I like that one. But yeah, I like this quote. Like I write it everywhere. Like in my that notepad right there. That's like my diary. I have it like on the first page. I have it like on my
We'll read it. You guys have to tune in for the next episode to read it.
but no, really, like this stuck to me because there's been times where I've been alone. Basically, like the family's like living in a whole different continent. And I'm all by myself, so I do with what I have at that moment. Like I don't have like a support. I don't have a base. So I basically live in the moment. You know, I'm like the resource. Like I have to live with what I have. You know, I can't ask for help. You know, people are far away, so.
So
Like-
rather than be sad for yourself, you're gonna make what you have work in a situation.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's basically the whole point of this quote, and I'm gonna take it to me to the grave. Honestly, like I love
really
this
do
quote.
like
Yeah.
It
that.
is a very good
I
quote.
really love this
And
quote.
I'm studying for a licensing exam now, and that just
I feel like it
I'm
makes you think. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
but it puts you in perspective of
Yeah.
okay, like it's not that serious. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You'll work through, you grow through what you go through.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna make it through this. So I like that.
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. You want to pick?
Yeah.